Are 5 of the most popular cryptocurrencies that basically everybody is talking about right now. And yes, I'll be missing many coins that you might like because I'm only naming 5. I mean, there are tens of thousands of different coins, but if you've got a coin that's better, let me know down below. Side note, these are in no particular order. First off is Celestia. I think that this right now has got to be the most talked about crypto on Twitter. And I think for the most part, that's because of the crazy airdrops that people have been getting. Just now, the Altair airdrop opened up for Celestia stakers. Everybody that was staking 35 or more Celestia, which is a couple $100, got themselves, I think, about, at the minimum, maybe $80 worth of Altair for free. But of course, for some people, this is tens of thousands of dollars that they got for absolutely free. And that's just one of the many airdrops in the Celestia ecosystem. Celestia itself, funny enough, was also a free airdrop. And just so many juicy airdrops have been given to Celestia holders over the past couple of weeks, with so many more to come, which is why the price has gone basically only up ever since its inception. Many people think that because a coin is given for free, that there's no back end for the price. But then you understand, if people think there's a good chance holding this crypto will make them more money, the price does do pretty freaking well. And I should also tell you that very often with cryptocurrencies that do an airdrop, there's actually massive investments on the opposite side, and these guys know what they're doing. It's not a small operation. Very often it's hundreds of millions of dollars worth of value. And a good example was with Manta, where there was just such crazy amounts of hype beforehand already, before the airdrop even came around. But also, many people I know invested in Manta early. Anyway, even though Manta is extremely popular, I wouldn't say it's among the top 5 that I see being mentioned all the time. I think it's just really, really hot because it just launched. I think one that's more popular in the circles that I look into is Kaspa. And it's interesting because from a conceptual standpoint, it does not seem like the most hyped up project. I mean, there's not that much to gain as with Celestia. Perhaps it's because it still's got that core Bitcoin idea of being a proof of work. And I mean, the backing for this is pretty serious. One of the founders, Jonathan, his paper from 2013 was actually cited in the Ethereum white paper. They got massive investments from Polychain, if you know, you know. And that's like way, way, way back. Right now, I think a lot of people are seeing it as a better version of Bitcoin. Can't say it's the same, can't say it's got that similar type of style, but obviously proof of work is not really around as much as before anymore. And from a certain perspective, I believe that most cryptos that still go along with this proof of work narrative, people consider that to be a better version of Bitcoin. You could consider Ethereum a better version of Bitcoin, but it's so different that it doesn't make sense. And talking about things that don't make sense is the crazy rise of Solana. Well, at least to a lot of people on Twitter, it didn't make sense. To me, it makes perfect sense. To give you guys a little story, just a couple months ago, Solana was trading at what, like $20, $15, something like that. Here you guys can see a little bit better just how low the Solana price went right here. Back in 2022, it even went to $10. And later, you guys can't see perfectly, but here in September, it was about 19. I think somewhere it was even lower than that. And the funny thing is, many people said, because Solana had outages before and had issues before, that this was the end for Solana, that it could never recover. But I think you guys can all see in terms of price right now that the price has done pretty well for itself over the past couple of months, and nobody's stopping over it. Meme coins are crazy hyped up on Solana right now, gathering so much attention that I think it's just causing a massive amount of interest for Solana. But also, like I was just talking about with this whole Celestia airdrop situation, on Solana, we just had a very, very extremely popular airdrop happen, the Jupiter airdrop, and I think many more are to come over the next few months. And so for holding just Solana, there's a couple cool airdrops, like for example, the MarginFi one, and there's a couple others, which I've talked about in my airdrop video. Go check that out, it's on my channel. That's how to get free money in crypto, basically. But besides that, it's just so many opportunities, so much life on Solana right now, which there wasn't a few months ago. And all this fear of Solana being a centralized, not even working piece of garbage, it's all out the way. I'm seeing mostly just excitement around the Solana ecosystem, and I would be surprised if they don't keep up the pace of doing so incredibly well in terms of price. And next in line is one of the best performers out of the entire month. I'm talking about Sui. This coin is so interesting. Before, there was such a big battle between two of the new layer ones, Aptos and Sui. Which one would be the better one? Which one would come out on top? But it seems that Sui has taken that cake. And every single cycle, you see a couple of new layer ones that just absolutely take over. And this time around, it seems to have been Sui. Obviously properly VC backed, and obviously that's something people don't like, as well as with Solana, that a lot of the tokens still have to be unlocked, and that's VC money they're gonna dump on you. But the way I personally see it is that these guys are building such unique things, and I think because they've not gotten that crazy rush of a run yet, this season might be the time. And what I mean with that is many altcoins that have done well in previous runs, like for example in the 2017 run, will not continue to do so this time around. People are always looking for the next new big thing, and I will very much say here that it could be another layer one that takes this role, but I think multiple will do well. Just potentially, Sui will perform a lot better than some of the ones that have already gained so much attention in the years prior, whereas Sui is still, in my opinion, relatively a newcomer in terms of the crazy excitement. Yes, they've been hyped up for a while, don't get it twisted, but I'm saying that real massive push, that massive wave hasn't really happened yet, and I think that this cycle, it could definitely happen for Sui. And funny, if you were into staking, I'd say that the most hyped up and most interesting crypto to look into would be Pendle. But if you're not into the whole Ethereum ecosystem, getting the most out of all your Ethereum, getting the most out of staking, it's really not interesting at all. And out of this entire list, I wouldn't pick XRP, I wouldn't pick AVEX, I wouldn't pick ADA, even though all these cryptos are so juicy. I personally, if we're talking about excitement, think Injective has a really good stance, really good position because of all the airdrops people are expecting to get there as well. It's also in my guide. I've actually done a full Injective airdrop guide before. But no, real talk, I think it might be Tau. I think this crypto has come on my radar so ridiculously many times, and I don't fully understand why the community is so tight-knit and there are so many people crazy excited about it. Perhaps because the price has been doing so extremely well. Anyway, I could have placed this in multiple different lists. I could have placed it in a top AI type of list, most popular, most hyped up projects type of list, because I'm not joking, I see people talk about this coin everywhere and it makes sense. Just read this line. You can't see it perfectly, I think, but ultimately our vision is to create a pure market for artificial intelligence, an incentivized arena in which consumers and producers of this valuable commodity can interact in a trustless, open, and transparent context. I think just that line alone gives people the shivers of excitement. Because this whole AI wave is so new, so fresh, and so hyped up that when you see something in the AI realm that others are talking about too, that's doing really well in price, it's just a trifecta for crazy attention and multipliers, but also, of course, multiplier in terms of price. And so yeah, those were, I think, 5 cryptos that are so extremely popular right now that I think all which could do extremely well for the reasons I kind of just described. I mean, they're popular for a reason. People are crazy excited about them, and there's some coins I missed. If we're talking about which coin goes most trendy on Twitter all the time, I think IOTA is one of the best ones. Which one has one of the best followings? You might say a Shiba Inu, an XRP, or a Luna Classic, for example. Those have really tight communities, and every single coin out there has potential, which is a problem because you don't want to hold every single coin depending on your strategy. But if they're so highly valued already, it's not the best idea, in my opinion, to hold every coin. Just go for some of the ones you feel good vibes with the community, or where you really resonate with the idea of what they're trying to do, or, like I've said in some videos, you just try to master your sector. For example, the gaming space, the AI space, whatever, and you really focus on the different cryptos in that sphere. You study them well, you understand the principles of them, and then you just buy a whole ton of all the ones you think that have potential. All of those could work well. All of those could make you crazy amounts of money. And if you like more crypto updates, make sure you press that like button. Every single like does matter. So don't think, oh, I don't have to press it, somebody else will. Make sure you press that button if you enjoyed these videos, and subscribe to the channel for more crypto updates if, of course, you're interested. And I'll see you guys again in another crypto video, hopefully somewhere later today.